Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm bringing you part 3 of my 3-part budget series. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. My name is Morgan here at The Life of Tillmans. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you have not checked out parts 1 and 2, I'm going to link them down below. I will also put them at the end of this video, but I'm just sharing with you guys how we set a budget every year, different steps, and hopefully these tips will help you guys if you're looking for a new way to change things up. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how you can save on your homeschool budget, like cutting your costs. And I'm all about cutting some costs, you guys. So let's talk about cutting costs on curriculum. The first way that you can cut costs on curriculum is to borrow. I am the queen of borrowing, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I have a lot of homeschool friends here in our different organizations that we're a part of, and everybody is amazing. It's like pass it around, make a list of who you borrowed from or who you allowed to borrow, and they'll get it back to you in great condition. So I'm the queen of borrowing. I talk a lot with people and they're like, I have that. You want to borrow it? I'm not using it. And it's interesting because my girls are a little bit in between a lot of our friends. And so I have some of the younger ones with my youngest daughter and my middle daughter. And then my oldest daughter kind of falls in between some other people. So they're like, well, we're not using that right now. We have another couple of years. Do you want to borrow it? And I'm like, absolutely, yes. So if you are in the place and you are around people who are willing to allow you to borrow, I even had an amazing subscriber offer for me to borrow one of their curriculum. They don't even live in this state, you guys. I mean, to me, that's just the love of the community and understanding that we all need each other and we can all help each other out. But if you have the opportunity, borrow the curriculum. The second thing that I do to cut down on cost is buy it used. Buy it used, y'all. It does not have to be brand new. Buy it used. Now, I am particular about what I purchase used. I do not like used workbooks. If it has writing in it, even if it is in pencil, I don't want to spend 10 days erasing something out of a workbook. So I like my workbooks to be new. My children like workbooks to be new. If we're talking about a textbook of some kind, I don't care if it doesn't have the cover on it. As long as all the pages are there and we know what we're doing and we can read through it, I'm going to take it. Buy it used. Facebook Marketplace, all of these different homeschool groups that are on there. I have bought, I'm looking at my curriculum stack. There are only like 2 items in this curriculum stack that I have purchased that are brand new. 2. I have 3 girls, y'all. 3. Everything used. Steals of a deals out there. And the fact that I'm really helping out another homeschool family when I buy something used for them just makes it that much easier and better. You know, I feel great about doing that. I also go to a homeschool store here. It's about an hour and a half from where we are, but when you buy from that homeschool store, it's like consignment. And so a percentage goes back into another homeschool family's household. And I think it's absolutely amazing. So buy it used. Don't be afraid to step out there. I've had some amazing people sell me curriculum. I've purchased from amazing people. I've also sold, and I've never had any issues. I believe that we are a very tight-knit, although far away in community of people that we really don't know, but we all understand the goals that we're working towards and we're willing to work together. And so buying used is helpful for everyone. Another thing that you can do to cut on curriculum costs is create your own. I put together several unit studies when the girls were younger, just because it was fun for me to do. I loved it. The girls really enjoyed it. They got to put in their input. I got to cater to their needs and their desires for their learning. So we did science. I've put together some history things. We've also done, in science, we did like space and human body, Christmas unit study, Thanksgiving, like just so many different options out there. So if you are that creative mind person, I'm not going to say that mine were fabulous or anything, but they worked for our household. But if you're that creative person, put together your own curriculum and piece things together, and that really does help you cut your curriculum cost. Some additional ways to cut costs in the curriculum area is just find it free, y'all. I mean, you can get online and Google and find tons of things for free. You can print it off. There are printables just floating around out there waiting on somebody to use them. And you could get those printables and then you could maybe match them with some books that you already have at home, some different activities that you can go on. The possibilities are endless. Homeschool can be as expensive or as cheap, I feel like, as you really, really work to do it. Now, it's not cheap by any means, but it can definitely be cheap than buying everything new, buying the big box, thing, the popular stuff. You can cut your cost in several ways. Another way to cut your cost for curriculum is buying multi-level curriculum, because you can use that for multiple children and you can use it over time. So while you may in the beginning put down $400 for this curriculum, if you have 2 or 3 additional children who can use that over the time span, that's almost nothing, right? So it's great if you can find multi-level that works for you in your household, that's not overwhelming for you, and that's another way to cut your cost. So this next way to cut on curriculum costs, I think, is really, really creative, and I love that there are curriculum companies that do that. Finding a multi-subject curriculum. So in that curriculum, you may have your history, your literature, and your geography and Bible. There's so many different possibilities. It may also include arts in there as well. So finding those curriculums, yes, you'll pay just a little bit more for them, but you're getting all of your subjects in one, and you don't necessarily have to piecemeal everything together, because sometimes piecemealing together can end up costing you more money, especially if you don't find it used or go to a homeschool store or borrow it from someone else. It can cost you additional money. So try to find a curriculum that has more than one subject encompassed in it, and that will also help cut your costs. Okay, so now let's talk about cutting supplies costs. We've talked about curriculum, but in supplies, go to the library to check out books, y'all. We buy a lot of books. We buy a lot of books in my household, but I have cut back significantly over the last 2 to 3 years because it was eating my budget up. While it's fun and the girls love to read every single book pretty much that I have ever purchased for them, it can get really expensive buying those books. So what I do is I check those books out from the library, and we check them out multiple times if my girls want to read them more than once. So I find that if it's a book that they want to read more than once, and they read it 2 or 3 times, okay, that's a book that we should go buy. It's totally worth spending the money. But if they read it once and they're like, well, if you spent $10 on that book and every 5 books there, that's $50 plus tax that you've wasted on books that your child is never going to pick up again. So checking books out from the library really helps. Also doing audiobooks, where like our library offers audiobooks, even though we're not able to physically get the book, we can still do audiobooks, and finding books on YouTube. So cutting your supply costs, going to the library for books, and also checking out library sales. Schools also do sales or giveaway books as well. Half Price Books does donations of books. If you have an organization that you're working with, you can also do that. We have what's called a little read wagon here. We also have the big blue bus, and they give away books to children all the time. So there are tons and tons of options to save on supplies. I specifically brought up books because I feel like we as homeschool families are always snatching up books. Another way to cut on supplies is sales. Like Amazon has sales all the time, buying in bulk. If you know that you're going to go through 15 to 20 pens, okay, let's buy bulk pens. If you know that you're going to go through a ton of whiteboard markers or Sharpies or pencils, buy it in bulk, and in the end, it actually does save you money. So if you have the money in your budget at the beginning to buy in bulk, it will save you money on the back end. So I love sales and I love bulk buying, like at Sam's, Costco, Amazon. Those are great places for you to go to save on supplies. Now let's talk about how you can save on electives, extracurricular activities, and field trips. Homeschool days. I talked about that in my previous video, but homeschool days are always cheaper than going on a regular day, and that is helpful. They cut you a discount, or sometimes it's even free. So free homeschool day. You have to be a homeschool family in order to be able to come to participate in whatever the activity is that they are having. I also talked about entry-level extracurricular activities for my girls. So I can sign one of my daughters up to play a full season of YMCA volleyball for $100, and we're not members of the YMCA. That is amazing. However, they also play volleyball with a homeschool organization, and it is not $100. We pay more than that for the season, but it is still a cheaper cost than if they played club volleyball or club basketball. If you're into extracurricular activities, then you know what I'm talking about. But there are options for you. Finding different things through your Parks and Recreations department, that is super helpful, and that helps you cut your cost on extracurricular activities. Electives, we've done typing. There are free typing websites. I do not need to pay for typing for my girls. I can literally hand them a sheet of paper and I can say, type this, and they will learn where all the keys are. I'm not a huge, big, like formal typing type of person. Yes, they get on typing.com, I believe it is, or typing ed, something like that. And they'll get on there and do typing. But to me, it's also one of those things that you just learn by doing it. It may not be the exact perfect typing format, but you put all your fingers on the keys and you go to work and you learn how to do it. So you don't necessarily have to pay for that. Some other things, and this came up to my mind because my oldest daughter is interested in like woodwork, wood shop, construction, that type of thing. But like Home Depot has free classes. They have free classes at least once a month where you can go and learn how to do different things. You can learn how to put trim on in your house, how to use the saw and cutting machines, how to paint cabinets. That is an opportunity for your child to gain a skill in a different area that they may be interested in, and it doesn't cost a ton of money. Does it take a lot of research sometimes, guys? Yes, but it is so worth it. So I spend this time of year right now looking for homeschool days, different field trips. I have a log of previous field trips that we have done to keep those events in my mind so that I know, okay, this is probably another homeschool day coming up for the 2024-2025 school year. I also know how much our extracurricular activities cost because we've been doing it for so long. And so with the third child, we have this down to a science, and we're going to allow her to just try out all of the cheap stuff. She gets to play basketball for a whole season of basketball for $85. So trying out cheaper options in homeschool classes, things specifically for homeschool students, will allow you to cut your budget when it comes to extracurriculars, field trips, and electives. And the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is don't get FOMO. Fear of missing out. It is so easy to see all of the things that are going on and you want to do it all, but we can't always do it all. We have to make sure that we are staying within our budget, providing our children with what they need and not buying tons of stuff that we do not need. I am on the bandwagon to stop it. I hope this video was helpful and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.